Yeah. So it's a good question. Why does ELIGN exist? What is ELIGN? The East Lothian Intergenerational Network. It says what it. I can't say. What it says on the tin is what it is. So it's a way to come together and connect. We started this work really on the back of some other work that happened through Dementia Friendly East Lothian with Celebrating Communities, which was a piece of work that was seen as a really important thing to do after the pandemic, with the amount of work everybody had been involved in their communities, maybe different to stuff they'd done before. I'm looking at the Home Start team. It was flat out, wasn't it? It was mad. It was mad. It was absolutely crazy, but a lot of other people stepped into that place and did work, and we felt it was a really important thing to have a chance to be able to connect. Out of that grew the need for East Lothian Intergenerational Network. We already had conversations as well going on about the importance of intergenerational practice, about sharing that, about aims within connected communities to do their work, and so we were able to get the funding to get started. I'm now looking at the VCEL, I'm still looking at Tracy as though like you're just out of VCEL and no more, still there. So very grateful for that. Patrick, can you click on?
Of course.
Sue, instigator of course, knew the people she needed to speak to, and also spoke to the board and actually looked at how this could be developed, and it's Sue that was behind the application that went into the Communities and Mental Health Wellbeing Fund. I've got a whole spiel to tell you all about Caroline. Connected communities, youth dialogue, what I'm going to tell you is she just sums it up. If we don't bring everybody together and we don't connect and build these relationships, we can't really do community work. It doesn't embed. So that's our Caroline. Pat, you've just met, couldn't be anybody more passionate about intergenerational work, and certainly has a really strong focus currently on intergenerational spaces and places. Now looking at Rory, UWT, absolutely something that's been seen across not just Scotland, but the world, quite literally, about the importance of that. You're done. That was caught. Right. So we've come together, and I think there's probably folk in the room will know me for lots of different reasons, because Susan gave me an award once for the most amount of hats. They're all volunteer hats usually, and they circle round, but absolutely I believe in people, from our youngest ones to our oldest ones, and I love the connections that get made. So this is a pure privilege and pleasure for me to have come in and actually lead on the project. Probably said more than I meant to there now. And I'll just leave you to read the bit at the bottom, and we'll move on.
Fine, we're unbelievably, we're on time.
It's
great, it's amazing.
I'm looking, Paula's not waved at me frantically from the back yet, so I think we're doing okay. So yeah, how we were able to develop it, sort of 3 tiers. Obviously, we need the people. Everybody in the room today, those who couldn't join us, everybody who builds a network. Without that, there is no network. It doesn't matter what you talk about. So that is the fundamental. It's absolutely, the crystal part that makes it shine. Dementia Friendly East Lothian. Lots of you have met Sue, come across her, or actually inadvertently come across some of the work she's instigated. She is a rights-based, passionate advocate in everything she touches and does. So DFEL has actually supported the project in financial terms as well as the time and support and supervision and help and everything Sue does. And without VCEL taking on the Community Mental Health and Wellbeing Fund as the third sector interface and managing all of that and taking all these applications in and actually going out and proactively finding other funding to support it to help more people, again, we wouldn't have been able to do this development work. Can you move on, Patrick? Thank you. Not moved on, literally.
Stay.
Yeah. So a bit of a summary about what we've done, and when I wrote this up I thought, oh yeah, we have done quite a lot actually in a short time. So there's lots of things to link to. If you haven't come across the website, it's there. You might, if you get emails from me, it's at the bottom, so you don't have to capture it there. But we've had network meetings, we've had newsletters gone out that's shared good news. We have linked to the broader work that's across Scotland and elsewhere in some of the articles and things that are shared. We've had a pilot project in a care home, done one-to-one work. There's just lots of things that are done, and that can continue to grow. So as everybody becomes more informed, you can all help and do that going forward. Next slide. that's a sort of summing up. The partnership work just grows, it just keeps on going. This event here today is another example of that. We're deeply grateful. We have Connected Baby involved, we have the Ageing Lab involved through our keynote speakers, which is really exciting. We have IGB very much involved in looking at how to make better health and well-being across our communities in East Lothian. So lots and lots of links, deeply grateful. Ha! Now, that's us. We're summing up that bit. That's your appetisers. We're moving on to the main course. And I thought, how do I introduce Suzanne? So I'm going to take a wee bit of time to do it, because she's massively supported us with this, and we're very, very, very grateful. So Sue and I sat and brainstormed. We created a bit of a flow chart. It was quite a long list of things that we wanted to achieve from our speakers today. And we went through all sorts of things like, has to understand, obviously, what is a healthy brain, what scaffolds a healthy brain, what develops it, but also needs to be able to make a link from baby to elderly. Needs to understand where there's degenerative issues for a brain, how meaningful supports can go in place and actually support that going forward. Has to be a really nice person. It just has to. I'm not bringing anybody else in. Has to be a champion for play, for rights respecting approaches. The list was a pretty huge list. And all we did was tick, tick, tick. You know that we're going to Suzanne here, you know we're going to Alan here, and boom, in they came. So absolutely fantastic. If you can move on to the next slide. Thank you. So I should tell you a little bit more if anybody hasn't met Suzanne. She's a research scientist who actually said this work that's being done around the science of connection and relationships needs to come out from universities, spread out, and she actually took herself out the university and founded Connected Baby to start to try and share this. That link with Connected Baby and support from the start in East Lothian has been huge. So we have shared Connected Baby film nights, we have been part of the ACEs Aware movement moving forward, and we actually, if anybody came across the Resilience Tour, and I'll look at you to see if you're still able to hold your head up after that, there was going to be originally two screenings with Suzanne and the late and wonderful Tina Hendry, one in Glasgow, one in Edinburgh. And somebody said, couldn't we have that for support from the start and then East Lothian as well? And some of the answers trickled back, and then, well look, we're doing this, wouldn't somebody else like to do this? And the networks grew and it exploded. Absolutely exploded. Suzanne, Tina and a small team ran around all over Scotland to almost every local authority over 2 months. We had the licence was there for, running these special evenings, days, film viewings of resilience with a panel afterwards. And out of that, the ACE Aware Motion really was born. It gave an incredible platform to do so. Suzanne is a co-founder for that too. I don't know where you get the energy. You're out there daily. If you check Suzanne's Twitter feed, you'll see she's never ever resting. She's on the go all the time, speaking at a number of different things. So part of what she does is she takes the science of connection and she takes ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and she also looks at awesome connected experiences. She knits them together and she gives us hope and she gives us ways to move forward. So part of that, those ingredients have gone into creating today. And thank you very much, Suzanne. Come share.